Thanks for talking with us on It's All Good News.
Yeah, thanks. What an exciting um, television program. That's really wonderful. All
Well,
good news.
what you are doing is very wonderful, and that's why we wanted to talk to you on the Good News Show. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing here. This is your fourth year doing this solo marathon swim to benefit the city mission. So tell me about why you started doing this. How did this come to be 4 years ago?
Well, I'm always, as a marathon swimmer, I'm always looking for a new adventure. And I thought, wouldn't it be neat to swim across the city of Cleveland's coastline, 12 miles, kind of celebrate that, Cleveland has this great close coastline along Lake Erie, and it really is beautiful. So um, wanted to give that a try. And as I usually do with my marathon swims, I like to take along a charity. And
Okay. How did
and
you choose the city mission as your charity specifically for this?
yeah, well, so I looked at a few different charities, and I read the uh, city mission's mission statement, and I just fell in love with the organization based on that. May I read the mission statement to you?
Please, I would love to hear it.
Okay, great. It's providing help and hope to all people through the transforming power of God's love.
So it's a religious-based organization, and my understanding is they
It is.
predominantly serve our people without homes in the city of Cleveland. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's really three levels of care that the city mission provides. First, they would take in one of our Cleveland neighbors. If you look at it as in a large city, everybody could be our neighbor. So they bring in somebody who's in crisis, that is homeless, and they give them shelter and food. And then they have recovery programs for people. And then they have a sustaining program to help people learn the techniques for entering society and living an independent life. Um, so those are things that just really excited me about, giving people a future too.
Sure. Now, this is your fourth year doing this, and you do fundraising along with it. Can you tell me how much funding have you raised in the past, what your goal is, and how far along you are toward that goal this year?
Well, it's usually pretty modest. I've raised thousands of dollars for various other organizations. So it'd be great if, we raised a few $1,000s for the city mission. I'm excited as uh, uh, it seems like it's gained a little momentum here. And so I'm very optimistic that we'll bring in some money for and awareness for the city mission too.
Sure. Well, I think you're being modest. I think a couple $1,000s is a lot of money that will do a lot of good here in the city of Cleveland. So thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thanks. Well, it's a labor of love.
It is truly a labor of love, too. You'll be swimming 12 miles. You said that you are a marathon swimmer. So how many marathons have you swam?
Oh, it's probably a dozen or so. My favorite one, though, is when I swam across Lake Erie, 24.3 miles. That was from Canada to the US, and it took 19 hours, and a big crew of good friends standing by me. And I swam through the night on a black Lake Erie, and I was swimming for the Wounded Warrior Project, and I raised the American flag when I got to the U.S. shore. So that was just really cool.
What a special moment. How incredible. Now you've got a team going with you. I know you've got at least two kayakers going with you. Tell me who's going with you when you make this trip. And this is happening either at the end of July, beginning of August, depending on the water conditions.
Yeah, right. So I have my friend and swim coach and main kayak supporter, Kevin McCardle, who's been with me across many of my marathon swims. and his wife, Debbie. And then I have a couple more friends in our chase boat, which is important for safety, because you never know what could happen out there. So it's important.
How long do you expect this to take? 12 miles across Lake Erie.
Yeah, 12 miles, and hoping that we have a nice southwesterly wind blowing behind me. It could take about 8 hours.
Okay. Are you planning on doing this during the day, in the early morning, late at night? What's your plan for that?
Yeah, so really early morning, 6 or 7 a.m. is a good time to start because usually the waves calm down during the night. Not always, but many times. And so the flatter the water, the better. And that light breeze that happens during the midday, to push me along helps too.
And if you don't mind me asking, Steve, how long have you been swimming these marathons? When did you start? And if you don't mind sharing, how old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 64 and I started in my mid 30s with just a 2 mile swim at Edgewater Park. And it kind of escalated from there. I went from 4 miles, then to 10 miles across the Strait of Gibraltar and 13 miles across the Sea of Galilee and then the big Lake Erie swim.
Wow. 4 miles to 24 miles from your 30s to 64, and now 12 miles across Cleveland for charity. You're doing such great work. Steve, can you just tell us a little bit about what it means to you to be able to do this, to raise awareness for the city mission?
Oh, well, I'm humbled by all the work that those people do at the city mission. And, there's so many heartwarming stories that come out of the city mission because they have this plan that helps people uh, love themselves again and go out and enter society and give something back there too. So there's just so many good stories, and I'm humbled by being able to represent them on this swim. And so I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we're excited for you. Obviously, here on the Good News Show, we will be sending you all of the good vibes, that you have calm waters and that southwesterly wind giving you that push along. Steve, thank you so much for talking with us on the Good News Show today.
Oh, thanks, Stephanie. It was a pleasure.